Alright, hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gauntlet Ascension. I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and tonight, man, do we have a banger lined up for you guys. The same two teams that started off the season will be having their rematch. However, very drastically different situation. At the beginning of the season, that was both of the teams' first match. This time, it is the Grandmasters' 11th match and the Wavey one's 13th match. And all things considered, the Grandmasters have been undefeated the entire season. So of course, everyone is in anticipation. Can the Wavey ones be the team to finally put an end to the win streak? Our lineups today is Bergtroll versus Smooth, Geico versus Morlando, Kingsman versus Mari, and of course, the two captains, SB versus Sidnev. That being said, both our players are warming up right now. We do have Cam for Bergtroll. No Cam for Smooth though. So let's go ahead and check out our players warming up. Players, if you want SPS, this is your chance to request for it. If you decline, then once you are ready, we'll be ready to get this match underway. Smooth accepts SPS. Bergtroll, do you also accept? And we got dual confirmation for SPS. There's your seed, 48, 6C, 36. That's 48, 6 Charlie, 36. We got the ready from Smooth. It looks like we got the ready from Bergtroll. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Of course, both players have requested for same piece set, so they got it. Smooth is actually going to be the first to get set up for a Tetris. However, there is no long bar. There it finally is. Bergtroll long bar dependency ended up being created. Not too happy with that. It's going to take a couple of burns, and there's the Tetris going to be scored for Bergtroll on the board with 31,000. Smooth at 45. Does find another Tetris, and ooh, interesting. Decides to go for that particular setup. It's going to cost a couple more burn lines. Allows Bergtroll to close the gap by a Tetris. Nothing crazy though, as both players seem to have gotten the board under control for the most part. Smooth in need of a J or an I piece. Gets the J and the I piece in that order, and that's going to allow for a conversion of a Tetris. Bergtroll also finds a Tetris himself. And with both players at, well, it's now separated by 4 lines. Bergtroll is going to knock down a Tetris. Less than a Tetris in terms of points is what separates them. Smooth just able to have a slightly more efficient opening. And nice, Bergtroll able to open up the wheel just in time when that long bar comes. And as things stand, pretty clean play. Bergtroll unable to utilize that first eyepiece for a Tetris. But luckily there was some more on the way. There's a Tetris going to be scored for both Bergtroll and Smooth. 193 to now 212. 40 line mark. Smooth once again still holding on to a 1 Tetris lead. He's burned 6 lines so far. It's going to take a couple more burns, and actually that's going to bring us almost into tie game territory. As Bergtroll waits on the long bar, does find it. 239 and now 241. And unfortunate timing on those pieces for Smooth. Covered up the well right as soon as the long bar hit the stack. And Bergtroll was unable to utilize that same eyepiece to score Tetris 2. So Smooth's going to go back into a 1 Tetris lead. Bergtroll does find a Tetris and is 1 meter away from getting set up for the next one. Small adjustment. That's going to allow for a Tetris to be scored. 288 to now 289 and make that 291. Very close level 18 being played here. Unfortunate timing on those S's over there for Bergtroll. Not going to try and set up for any kind of aggressive, dirty Tetris. Just going to take the necessary burns. It's going to give Smooth a 2.5 Tetris lead. Maybe 1.5, considering that there is a slight line discrepancy between the two. Smooth is definitely putting the pressure on Bergtroll. A couple of long bars actually going to hit the stack for both players at that point in time. Bergtroll couldn't use any of the eyepieces to score Tetris. Just had to use them and kind of build up. And this emphasis on building out the left is very nice over here from Berg. 407 for Smooth, 339 for Bergtroll. Bergtroll running into a drought. Takes 2 safety burns just in time to get the well open and knock down a Tetris. This is actually Berg's first time playing as a Ruby, if I'm not mistaken, this season. He was a Diamond, drafted as a Diamond player, but had just rapid improvement. We do have 2 of our Diamonds from both sides playing today. Morlando, and I believe, will be his second match. And Geico would also be his second match. And of course, the rematch between Kingsman and Mari. Totally not scripted. 501 for Smooth. 414 for Bergtroll. And I love that burn setup over there from Bergtroll. Very cerebral. Nicely done. Almost trailing by 100,000 points. But it's those kind of things to deal with pieces that are not ideal that allow you to help get boosted efficiency. Unfortunately, that double S is going to complicate things a little bit more. So a few more burns is going to be forced on Bergtroll's end. Does have a couple of options available. $447 now for Bergtroll. 575 from Smooth. Looking at a 600k transition. There it is. 600, 600. And unfortunately, looks like Smooth is... Oh, wait. No, decides to fill in the left. Smooth's going to burn into transition. Transition at 601. Bergtroll with 1 more in hand. Spin is missed over there from Smooth. So a couple of early burns here on 19. Not in danger of topping out just yet. Not going to get set up. There it is. Dirty Tetris for Smooth. Goes to level 20. And has a clean board ready for Tetrises. Bergtroll is going to transition at 522. Trailing by just under 100,000 points at transition. But is able to have a pretty good start to this level 19 here. 549 to now 659. Bergtroll forced to take some conservative burns. Not getting ideal pieces. Needs a T or an S piece. Does find the T piece. Smooth on the other hand. Very strong play so far. Bergtroll gets the well open. Tetris ready. Waiting on the next long bar and waiting patiently. Left side's getting built up nicely. He's going to take the conservative double. Smooth running into complications. What a drought that Bergtroll just had to endure. 589 to now 726. A nice little Z spin over there for Smooth. Going to help bring the stack down rather quickly, I might add. Another Tetris for Bergtroll. Goes up to 616. Still trailing by over 100,000 points. And those Z pieces led to some more complications. Not really allowing Bergtroll to really set up for consistent Tetrises. There's a column forward that's going to be scored by Smooth. 150,000 point lead almost. As Bergtroll looks for another L. didn't find it in time. Was having to do some burning here on level 22 while Smooth almost back into scoring position. No piece is going to be perfect. It's going to be a Tetris and a perfect well transfer back over to the right-hand side. 806 for Smooth. 641 for Bergtroll. Both players are at level 24. Bergtroll trailing by 160,000 points, but is now in a position to score. The setup for the Tetris. Smooth is in danger, topping out, but finds a way to stay alive, but that left side's a massive concern. Can he find a way to bring the stack down? Unable to tap a square all the way over to the left. Smooth is in the process of topping out and does so at 846. Bergtroll, you need 847. Not quite line outable before 29. As a matter of fact, these pieces are rather complicated. A misdrop on that eyepiece. Now Bergtroll is in Dig City here. Needs to find a way to get access to these various holes on the stack. That's going to help out a lot of J piece or an I piece is wanted. Gets the I piece, that's a split double. Definitely a spooky situation right there. But Bergtroll manages to endure 3 Tetrises and a couple of extra burn lines will be good enough to chase down the score. 847 is what Bergtroll is looking for. As the Tetris goes up to 796, 2 more will do it. There's one. Really tough level 24 into 25 over there for Smooth, and it got tough for Bergtroll as well. But Bergtroll completes the chase down, taking game 1, going into 29. Couple of misdrops. Nice 5-tap. S piece is a bit rough. But a level 31. Nicely done. So players, if you can increment your seed, then we'll be good for game number 2. So you should be at 59. All right. We got readies from both players. Let's go ahead and count them down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. First game was taken by Bergtroll. Smooth played phenomenally, had a 600k transition and had quite the lead in the post-transition, but ran into some complications, leaving 24 and into 25, and was unable to stay alive, and Bergtroll was just able to chase it down after a brief scare on 25. With that being said, both players got 2 Tetrises on the board. Smooth off to a perfect start. However, that O piece is going to disrupt it. Now, an L piece here would actually be ideal. There's the L piece, and S piece is going to also help burn it out, but Smooth decides not to use it for that. It's going to be waiting for a T or a Z piece. Pulls out for the T, only has to burn 1 line, narrowly avoiding a misdrop right there. And throughout the entirety of that, Smooth is the one with the advantage. Bergtroll unable to capitalize off of these long bars and getting some really painfully timed S's too. An S piece here would be great. Fortunately, not finding that S piece. Was able to make do with a T piece, and Tetrises are going to be scored from both players. Meanwhile, Smooth having to do some burning. Bergtroll only down by 2 Tetrises at this point. Well is going to get open for Smooth. And Bergtroll is also going to be able to open up the well. Nice adjustment. Way to get the well open. And the Tetris is going to be scored. 40 lines in, give or take a few. Or no, 40 lines in for both players. Smooth at 172. Bergtroll at 130. So Smooth once again with about a lead here in the opener. Bergtroll going to be looking for an L. Oh. Unable to find the L, so has to make do of different pieces. Now in need of an I piece. He's not finding said I piece. There it is. It's going to burn out double. Now an L piece is needed to help bring this out. Converts the dependency into a J piece dependency. Really a lot of tough pieces over here for Bergtroll. Making the best of what he can. But is already going to be trailing by 100,000 points. Right now, he's just trying to downstack out of this. These pieces are helping a bit. Smooth, not quite in a scoring position just yet. Nice flat burn over there for Berg. But a painful ZP is going to set him back once again. Another misdrop on the S piece. It's going to elevate things slightly. An I piece here would be great, but is deciding not to hold out for it. Smart way to downstack. Is looking for the L piece, does find it. And should be able to bring this stack down. Nice last second adjustment on the Z piece. That T piece is going to find a nice spot in columns 2 and 3. I piece is going to go flat. And not going to go for the rotation, interestingly, though. 3 more lines is what needs to be burned, and then Bergtroll can get back into scoring. Valiant effort over there for Bergtroll. Well is now open. However, long bar nowhere to be found. So Well gets close, and Smooth is going to top out at 338. The drought was just too much for him. But Bergtroll not in a safe position either. A lot of misdrops. I'm not sure what Bergtroll is able to do out of this. And it looks like it's going to be a simul early top out. Smooth ties up the set 1-1. Well, not simul early top out, but both players do early top out. Should be 6A if I'm not mistaken. All right, we got it ready from both players. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So, bit of a tough seed for both players. Berg was just in a perpetual dick, and although Smooth topped out first, Berg was unable to find a way to navigate out of his troubles. So we are tied 1-1. Both players opening up with a flawless start here. A lot of tucks are going to have to be committed over here by Smooth. A T-spin into an O double. Looks like this is going to be the first time in the opener that we see Smooth not leading. Board is brought down back to the bottom. That's going to be a flawless 20 over here for Bergtroll. Fortunately, that flawless 20 is going to be all that he gets in terms of no burnage. Just these pieces, not quite ideal for maintaining perfect efficiency. 144 to now 125. Smooth has utilized this opportunity to catch back up. He's having to take a few more burns than Bergtroll. So Bergtroll just slightly more efficient, as both players find a Tetris there. Tetris is going to be scored over there for Smooth, and Bergtroll had the well covered as soon as the long bar populates. The well does get open, and now it's Smooth in the lead here by a Tetris. Smooth is actually going to set up a delayed bits. Something that the Wavey ones are known to do pretty often. With the way that the pieces have been falling this game, it wasn't necessarily a risky bits. However, the board is getting a tad bit risky. Smooth gonna have to, oh, goes for the skim. Smart skim too. Tetris is going to be scored over there for Smooth. 266 to now 222. A nice split double as Bergtroll waits for this long bar. There it is. Tetris for Bergtroll. Smooth's going to take the triple there. And Bergtroll with a clean stack is going to be able to capitalize. 270 now, 298. One Tetris is all that separates these players. And Bergtroll not able to get the S-piece quite all the way over to the left-hand side. Is low enough to where it shouldn't be a threat. However, lines will be burned in dealing with it. And decides to use the J-piece. Like another I-piece. As he waits patiently, but that triple is going to work out flawlessly. Unfortunately, oh, Bergtroll actually is going to be able to get the well open. Smooth has ran into a slowdown, not a long one. He's able to get out of it pretty quickly, and Tetris is going to be scored over there for Smooth. 373 to now 328. Smooth in the lead right now. However, Bergtroll only trails by a Tetris and is behind by a set amount in Lions. Just about. As Bergtroll gets set up for the Tetris. Clean stacks for both players. Smooth having to take a little bit more burning. Tetris for Bergtroll, 374 to now 376. Another berg from Bergtroll almost put us in a tie position too. Smooth playing a little bit with fire. As Bergtroll not able to get that L piece all the way over to the left. Takes a skim. And whenever the next I piece comes, it's gonna have to use it. Fill in a dependency. Oh, a hang on the eyepiece now. Wait, this could get really dangerous really fast. Eyepiece makes it over. Needs another one to hit its mark. And the second eyepiece makes it over. We are closing in on the transition. Nice flat burn. Bergtroll is going to safely bring the stack down. That S-piece, not what he wanted. And oh, that hang could be fatal. Unable to do anything to get over to the left. Bergtroll tops it at 394. Smooth is good for game number 3. Players increment the seed and the next match start, or they're ready. We can get the next game started. No, audio didn't cut out. There's no action going on. You do realize Facebook has like the most registered users. Like 2 billion. Anyways, with both players ready, game 4 is underway. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And for the first time in what seems like a while, Bergtroll is up against the wall. Smooth has a key opportunity here to close the match out, give the Wavey ones that momentum, and I believe hand Bergtroll his first loss of the season. But already, both players experiencing a little bit of uncomfortability here. And Smooth knocks down a dirty Tetris. Definitely not the most comfortable stack. That left side is a huge concern. If good pieces don't populate the stack soon for Smooth, we could be looking at an early top out. However, that L piece is going to help out tremendously. Needs one more. Unable to find it. Just still more awkward pieces for not just Smooth, but for Bergtroll as well. There's definitely a good amount of bars that are hitting both players' stack. They're just not in a position to utilize them. And just like both players are in sync, they're basically going to get cleaned up roughly around the same time. Berg gets the well open. There's Tetris for Berg. Smooth in the lead. 124 for Smooth. Make that 147 after you add a Tetris. Bergtroll at 81,000. Looking for a J piece. Finds the I piece first. Now is looking for an I piece. Ooh, I like that delay burn setup over there from Bergtroll. Unfortunately, the wait for the I piece kind of dragged out a bit. And Bergtroll just having trouble getting into a consistent scoring space. Is set up for a column 3 now. It is 144 to now 207. After a couple scares in the early game, Smooth has really been able to take advantage. He wants to close things out. He wants to give the Wavey ones that first point of the match. However, it's not over till it's over. This is Tetris. Anything can happen. And Bergtroll, with the board now under control, looking to try and maintain that level of control as he aims to perform an active chase down of this lead. As Smooth has been able to build up. Anything, because of the line discrepancy, Bergtroll is not too far behind. Tetris is going to be scored over there from Bergtroll. 217 and now 279. So yeah, down by just about 3 Tetrises. A couple of complicated pieces over there. Does get an eye piece. It's going to open up the well. And Bergtroll not too happy with the pieces that have been received. The Tetris is going to be scored, but now some burning must be committed. 395 for Smooth, 274 for Bergtroll. Bergtroll just forced to take some burns. Just bring the stack under control. There's not much you can do. Back is against the wall. Smooth, almost with a 200,000 point lead going into level 19. Slightly ahead in lines, but the pressure is there. Couple of quick burns over there for Bergtroll. Smooth gun transition at 488. Bergtroll with one more Tetris following this one to go. Well is open. And Bergtroll is going to transition at 373. He has to make a stand here. If he wants to force a decider, he's going to have to perform an active comeback. He's going to have to be more efficient than Smooth. Or hope that something tragic happens to Smooth. However, right now, both players playing in the post-transition. Smooth with a beautifully built board. Bergtroll now Tetris ready here on level 20. Tetris is going to be scored for Smooth. Misdrop over there for Berg. Another misdrop. Going for a Hail Mary. Needs the long bar. Long bar doesn't come. Berg tops out at 426. Smooth takes game number 4 and hands Bergtroll his first loss of the season. Wavey ones now lead the match 1-0. Up next will be Geico versus Morlando. The Wavey ones have positioned themselves nicely. But of course, one match doesn't win the war. Let Smooth play this one out. Then we'll head into our intermission. Yeah, Smooth's playing this would have made it quite difficult too. $500K post and some 29 play would have been needed. One burn left available for a max. Wow. Good timing on those pieces. Needs an eyepiece right now. Max is dead. But a 980. Powerful game from Smooth. Alright, Orlando and Geico, if you guys would like to have the same pieces, speak now. Alright, well, here's your seed. Well, thing is, I haven't necessarily needed my license yet, or needed a license yet, because of me spending most of my time at the house, because I work from home, being self-employed. So now, if I worked a traditional job, then yeah. But your seed is Epsilon Delta 11 Foxtrot 9, or ED 11 F9. You have a ready from Morlando. I'm going to give Geico a quick refresh. All right. We got it ready from Geico as well. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Wavey ones lead the match 1-0. Let's see if Geico can tie things up. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. And look at how identical those openers were. For a second, Geico took a little bit of a different approach. Orlando finds the first touch of the game. Geico finds his first Tetris. Had to take 3 more burns than Orlando. Either way, both players off to a decently comfortable start. Orlando not getting the J piece, so had to use that I piece to fill in dependency. It's going to allow Geico to kind of tie things up. Great drought management from both players so far. 78-79. Geico's going to go ahead and set up for the conservative double. Had an isolated dependency and was kind of forced to do so, as both players knocked down a Tetris. Orlando able to kind of walk away with a slight advantage. But no, we're tied now. 126-126. Tied 127-127. I like the way that Geico decided to play that out too. Fortunately, the eyepiece came a bit too late, so not able to find too much success. Massive long bar dependency built up there in column 4. It's set up for a Tetris. Just going to take the triple, not play it too aggressive. Orlando has been able to build up a lead. Geico operating off of row 2, even there is a hole in column 3, row 1. The players, Tetris ready. Orlando finds one. Geico finds another. All things considered, very close. Orlando, no, having to do some down stacking, so Geico going to be able to take advantage of this. Geico's Tetris ready. Orlando's back down to the bottom. 308 for Orlando, 273 for Geico. Out of Tetris from Orlando goes up to 331. Geico only down by 2 Tetrises, hot on his tails. Wavey one sure came out to play. Definitely level 18 has been quite strong. Geico only trailing by 2.5 Tetrises at this point. Orlando's going to add a Tetris to his score. Goes up to 400,000. So we're looking at 500k transition for Orlando. Geico, we're looking at a high 400. Assuming all efficiency rates remain the same. $392 to now $433. Geico has actually closed the gap in terms of pace by at least 1 Tetris. Set up a delay burn there, and unfortunately that's when the long bar come. But 2 quick Tetrises, $438. So Geico now only trailing by 1 Tetris, and we're heading right into level 19 within the next 10 lines for Orlando, and also now for Geico. Tetris is going to be scored over there for Geico. 463 to now 480. No, Tetris is going to be scored, and Geico's going to transition at 486. Orlando. Nice safe play over there from Geico. Orlando, on the other hand, this drought. Oh, Orlando's going to transition up very high. Orlando's going to top it at 484. Geico at 512 is going to be good for game number 1. And just in time, too. Brutal drought into the post-transition. But Geico, with the efficiency on the last 20 or so lines, was just enough in order to take that game. So next seed should be FE. Right? Wait, 0A, what? No, it should be FE. FE11 F9. All right. Got it ready from both players to go and get them counted down. Game number 2 after a nail biter of a game 1. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Totally butchered that. Thought I hit enter, but I did not. OSI, as you can see, both players same piece sets and ooh, different approaches too. Orlando's going to be able to get the first Tetris as a result of his approach. Geico's going to have to take a couple of burns, or I say a couple. One burn was forced. But otherwise, the stack is in a clean position. Love an S piece. Wasn't able to find it. So an I piece is going to be wanted for that left or for the right hand side. Might have to go for row 2. Orlando also not in a position to score either. Definitely a much more complicated board for Orlando. However, that L piece is going to help him get back into scoring position. Same is that L piece for Geico. But oh, that is some parity. You can see by the way that Geico reacted to that. That being said, both players now with board states under control. And now Tetris ready. Geico goes for the single skim on the L piece. Just gonna knock down a couple of Tetrises, taking the lead temporarily. When Orlando's going to take it right back. So players with a little bit of a rougher 20-line opener. Oh, nice Verto L placement over there for Geico. Great discipline play too. Orlando having to cover up the well. Left side's a tad bit of a concern. J piece is going to be needed eventually. L or J. Now definitely a J or an I. And kind of just like that, Geico has been able to take the lead. Has a slight pace disadvantage. But otherwise, it's a pretty even matchup. 183 for Geico. Beautiful adjustment bits. He's been watching too many Sharky streams. 206 now for Geico, 200 from Orlando, make that 223, adding a Tetris. Geico running into a couple of rough pieces, so having to take some burns. Orlando avoiding to go for the skim, decided to use the L piece for the skim there. Does find the Tetris. Has to do a little bit of burning to get ready for the next one. And S-spin hit over there for Geico. Tetris is going to be scored. Orlando running into complications. Beautiful double. It's going to be burned right there. J-piece to pin over here for Geico. Finds the J-piece and is going to get Tetris ready. Orlando reopens up the right well. Geico's been able to build up a lead. A little bit uncomfortable. But is able to knock down a Tetris, bring the stack down. However, he's not going to be put in a scoring position just yet. Unless he decides to go for left well. No, that's going to be a triple. Geico. Geico at 442, Orlando at 359. We are closing in on the level 19 transition. Orlando looking for a little bit of help here. Was able to find it, but Geico's almost built up a 100,000 point lead. $492 to $389. Orlando is behind in lines, so the lead might not be as big. A couple of Tetris is going to kind of catch Orlando up in lines. One Tetris is available for Geico. Two available for Orlando. Geico's going to transition 540. He's going to get Tetris ready with long bar, column 9. And is going to take the conservative burns. A little bit of hesitation there. As Orlando gearing up to transition. Will only take one line to do so. Geico now L and J dependent. Finds both the L and J. Able to keep the board safe. And Tetris ready. 559 for Geico. 472 for Orlando. Geico finds the Tetris. Goes up to 584. Orlando hits level 20 as Geico gets Tetris ready. Another Tetris for Geico goes up to 612. Orlando now starting to fight back. 501 for him. Beautiful placements over there from Orlando. Like the way that was dealt with. Geico now running into a slowdown. A couple of misdrops are going to complicate things. And that hang from Orlando is going to be fatal. Geico is good for game number 2 at 617. Oh my gosh, Black Wolf. How are you? Hope your 2024 has been well. All right, Orlando is ready. Reminds me, I should check my Facebook one time or sometime. That is correct. OF11F9. All right, we got it ready from both players. Let's get them counted down. Game number 3. Orlando is backed against the wall. Let's see if Geico can tie things up. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Looks like to start the game, Geico has found the first 2 Tetrises. Orlando finds his first. And wow, what a opener this is from Geico. He is going to have to slow down. Unable to really find great pieces to kind of deal with that formation in column 4-5. As a matter of fact, things continue to get complicated at S-Burst. Geico could get a Tetris here and actually finds it. 116 to now 95,000. Those pieces are going to be perfect for Geico. Couldn't ask for better pieces right there. just like that, Geico with a pristine board. Morlando forced to take some burns. Not seeing that eyepiece anytime soon. Ooh, that misdrop from Geico. Unless an eyepiece comes right now, this could be it. Geico tops out at 142, but Morlando tops out at 103. Geico sweeps. The Grandmasters tie up the match 1-1. A lethal drought for both players. We got ourselves a match here. We're going to head into our intermission as we get things geared up for our next matchup between Kingsman and Mari. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. All right, looks like Kingsman and Mari are here. Mari said yes preemptively for same piece sets. Kingsman, would you like to do same piece sets as well? All right. Hee 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 hee. Sheesh. Mari is shaking in his boots after seeing that. I could just imagine what he... I don't know. Mari's holding up the jersey, but from what I've seen, the Grandmasters have more team spirit than the Wavey ones. Every single Grandmaster today that has played has been wearing their jersey. We can't verify whether or not Smooth was wearing his, but Morlando's the only one wearing a jersey. Mari's not wearing a jersey. The entire Grandmaster roster has their jerseys. That's crazy. But enough chit chat. The match is tied 1-1. Let's see which one of these two is going to be the one to break that tie. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. So this is a rematch. These two competitors were the first diamonds to play at the beginning of the season, and Kingsman destroyed Mari. Mari's coming back for revenge. And it's Kingsman's turn to shut down this retaliation. And right now his board's being shut down from scoring. Needs another L piece or an I piece. Able to get these pieces over to the left pretty effortlessly. Both players having to do some burning here. Mari has gotten 2 Tetrises on the board. Nice set of burns over there for King, and there's a Tetris for him. Great down stacking. Kingsman has definitely been an asset to his team. As a matter of fact, everyone on the Grandmasters either has a winning record or has a completely neutral record. And Mari being one of the 2 Soul Diamond representatives for the Wavy ones this season, or going into the playoffs. It's gonna have a lot of pressure. As of right now, though, Mari is putting the pressure on the King. Running into a little bit of a bind here. Forced to take some burns. 94,000 for the King, 151 for Mari. As the King is able to find a Tetris, and so does Mari. Nice skim for the King. Goes up to 140. Mari with the board under control, not phased by anything that the King is doing at the moment. He's going to find another Tetris, continuing to push the efficiency. this match does go to a sudden death, it will be rescheduled for a later date. Most likely. Mari running into some trouble now. That Z piece not doing him too many favors. Trying to keep this open. Does get an eye piece that burns a triple. Looks like Mari should be able to survive with some pretty decent ease. However, Kingsman closing the gap rapidly. So all that advantage that Mari had built up is just withered away. 257 for Mari. 218 for the King. The King's continuing to push the efficiency here over the last 30 or so lines. So Tetris for Kingsman, 263. .311 and now 332. Nice split second decision over there for Kingsman as he waits on the next eyepiece. Finds one. I'd like to get the board in a more friendly parity. Definitely a bit complicated as it stands right now. But oh, those pieces are going to be wonderful. Left is going to be built out. Nicely done over there from King. 358 to now 379. Mari only leading by a Tetris. Mari running into some issues. He's going to be able to navigate through these issues pretty calmly. Nice delay burn setup over there from Kingsman. And Kingsman waiting for the right pieces to deal with burning. However, these pieces are proving to be a tad bit problematic. What a burn setup over there from Kingsman. Fortunately, these pieces aren't helping too much. Kingsman now in danger. 13 lines to go before level 19. Would love a J piece. Finds an I piece instead. These pieces are helping the King out a bit. But he's going to have some really tricky survival ahead of him. That S piece was absolutely the worst piece that King didn't want. And that Z piece is going to seal the deal. King is going to top out at 422. Mari is good for game number 1. No way I've been playing longer than King. What? That's crazy. Oh, I know when I've been playing. I just passed my 5-month anniversary. I started playing February 27th, 2019. However, that was when I actually touched the game. Otherwise, I got into the scene December 26, 2018. If I said 5-month, that was on accident. I meant to say 5-year. We got it ready from Kingsman. Mari taking his time. After a close call, you can say But Mari is now also ready, so let's get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Starting things off, the unsavory hole has been generated by Kingsman, so that's going to prevent him from scoring and definitely looking for a J piece. J piece wasn't found in time, so Kingsman is going to be off to a slower start. Board has been brought all the way down to the bottom. Mari, despite having the advantage in the first 20 or so lines, it's gonna slow down. Kingsman, a little shaky right there, but does find a Tetris. 110 to now 148. It's gonna knock down another Tetris, bring him up to 133, so separated by half a Tetris. Kingsman needs the long bar and needs it soon. Needs it now. And there's the top out from Kingsman. Another early one. Mari is good and is up 2-0. All right, both players are ready. King already back against the wall. Let's go ahead and count them down to see if King can make a comeback or if Mari will successfully get his revenge. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Already, an early long bar dependency has been built up for the King. Does burn out of it and is able to find a Tetris. Both players having to burn the same amount of lines. The quality of lines that were burned was slightly different, though. Looks like both players going to be kind of in this neck-and-neck territory. Mari, thankfully for his board, finds a Z. That's going to be a triple, not a Tetris, so King's going to take an early lead on that metric. Mari actually set up for something they call a 4. Small adjustment for the King. Mari hoping for this long bar to come. It appears that we are running into a Gauntlet Classic drought. Both players find the long bar and able to score Tetrises. Mari brings the stack all the way down to the bottom. Kingsman was set up for another. $157 and now $158. Mari once again running into another slowdown. But just like that, Mari gets cleaned up. King is 1 Mino shy from being able to score Tetris. Tetris gets scored, but a long bar dependency actually gets set up and filled. Mari has regained the lead. He's taken a lot of triples, and that's kind of surpassed the gap that Kingsman had in the early game. A little bit tricky with the S's here. The King finds a good way to deal with them. 2 long bars coming, a Tetris is going to be scored. Mari did have a long bar dependency. Had to get it filled. Neither player in scoring position. Actually, both players with long bar dependencies. King gets his filled. Mari fills in 1 as he created another. Looks like Mari just needs 1 more dependency to get filled up. Could actually set this up for a Tetris if he chose to go that aggressive, but he's not going to. There's a triple. $356 and now $301. I like Kingsman's approach to that L piece. Deciding to burn it, have a more comfortable stack. King in the lead by 2 Tetrises here. Ooh, some tricky pieces. That Z piece, definitely not what the King was looking for. $393 to $337. Mari is in trouble. And we are closing in on the transition too. 443 for Kingsman. 375 for Mari. There's the Tetris for Kingsman. Mari transitions at 382. One line to go for Kingsman. He transitions at 369. The hang. That left side is a concern, but so is this board for Mari. That's a massive concern. Mari misses the T-spin. Kingsman trying to survive, but early dash loads. Things are going out of control. Kingsman tops it at 475. Mari has gotten the board in a position here to survive. $476 is the score that Mari's looking for. Couple of tough games for King. 2 games ending in 19 and an early top out in game 2. Mari's getting set up for the Tetris. No, decides to take the double. Prevents him from being able to score. 3 Tetrises at this point would be good enough. All Kingsman can do is sit and watch as Mari attempts to line this out. Oh, Mari set up for the Tetris. Takes the triple. $45,000 points remain. There's the Tetris. One more line clear should do it. And that triple's gonna be good enough. Mari sweeps Kingsman, gets his revenge. And the Wavey ones now lead 2-0 or 2-1. Which means it's down to SV to force a sudden death for a chance at the Grandmasters to keep their 10-match win streak alive. As I keep saying, this match is not over yet. There's one thing about Gauntlet. We've had some crazy situations happen. Let's head into our intermission as we get things set up for our captain's matchup. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back. Just waiting on SV to go. I think I have it right. We're just waiting on SV to go live. C should be pinned when both players are ready. Oh, make sure your super kill screen at 39 turned on, of course. Well, SV is warming up. I should announce that the captain's match is happening. All right. Oof. We do have a ready from Sidnev. SV making sure to put on the line cap. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get game number 1 counted down between the captains match. SV looking to bring it to a sudden death. Sidnev looking to be the first team this season to beat the Grandmasters. Already very differing approaches into getting Tetris ready first. Somehow the stacks end up looking a little similar. Both players knock down first Tetris of their game. Of course, if SV were to win this match, that ties up the match score 2-2. Meaning a sudden death must be had to determine the victor. Ooh, SB actually goes for the tuck there. Has to take a triple, so no longer perfect. So Sidnev is going to be having a 1 Tetris advantage on that front. So SB has taken 3 burn lines, but looks like Sidnev's going to be taking a little bit more than 3 burn lines. Unless Sidnev decides to go aggressive here. Looking for the right pieces to burn this out. RNG is just not giving it to Sidnev. Meanwhile, SV, clean Tetris ready. And Sidnev actually going to operate off of a column 8. Just shy of being Tetris ready, so couldn't use that 1 eyepiece to score. But can use the next one. Both players knocked down Tetris. 169 for SV, 149 for Sidnev. SV looking for particular pieces. As I thought, not going to go for the triple out. Instead, is going to get a Tetris. Perfect woe transfer. 40 lines in, both players with some 600k transition pace scores. Sidnev is going to tie things up following that Tetris. 219, now 217. SV is going to break the tie. That's one of the things about these two particular players. Generally, they would be known as the 2 most aggressive captains until Curie comes back. $285 for SV, 266 for Sidnev. That's what SV was known as in the prior season. Only losing 1 match. And that was when he was sick and up against DMJ. In that sense, him and Sidnev are quite similar, both having some phenomenal records before they became captains. The slowdown experience by both might give an opportunity for Sidnev to close the gap, as he was able to build up around a 2 Tetris and a half lead. Line counts are similar too. Beautiful S-flat over there for SV. Sidnev was able to find 1 Tetris, and this is that aggression I was talking about. SV 1 Mino shy from being able to open up the hole to score a Tetris, but a dirty Tetris is going to be scored for SV. And he's setting up for another one, and it's going to be a well transfer. 392 for SV, 346 for Sidnev. Sidnev still having to do some burning. Oh, nicely found. The L and the I combo allows Sidnev to open up the well and score Tetris. 378 now for Sidnev, as SV is continuing to put the pedal to the metal at 461. SV getting up incredibly high. Has to take the double. Able to get the square piece all the way over to the left. Sidnev setting up for a delayed bits. Unfortunately, that long bar is nowhere to be found. This is a nasty drought. SV going for a Hail Mary. No way! Opens up the well, waiting on the long bar. Look at that drought. SV tops it at 468, or yeah, 468. Sidnev needs to get 469. Dude, where's this long bar? Wait, the freak? Where's this long bar? There it is. Sidnev's gonna transition at 459. One more Tetris will do it. And Sidnev takes game number 1. Someone in chat could count that drought. That was 65. Woo! That's a pretty tough one. All right, we got it ready from both players. Let's go and get them counted down. Sidnev is 2 games away from being the first team to beat the Wave, or not the Wavey ones, the Grandmasters. But the match just started. And we still got plenty of Tetris left. SV is the first to find a Tetris here. Sidnev, a couple of misdrops. Sidnev does get on the board. SV did find good pieces to help fill in the center. Was looking a little bit uncomfortable. Almost to the point to where some lines were inevitably going to be forced. Whoa! SV going for the spin tuck there. So far, a flawless 20 from SV. Looks like SV might be forced to burn here, or not. Still able to keep it going. Eight Tetrises in a row to open up with. Make that 9 instead of having to do just a tiny bit of burning. Nothing crazy. Nice little simul Tetris right there. A flawless 40 from SV. Looking for a J piece and a Z piece. Really trying to get that Z piece or an O piece. Either or would have been preferred there. The best chance of keeping a perfect Tetris rate. But it looks like it's going to be able to maintain it. Another Tetris for SV. Another one. Goes for the tuck. If a J piece comes, then SV can stay perfect. That's relying on a J piece. Well, there's the J piece. Question is, do we get the I piece for the flawless 60? No flawless 60, had to take the triple. But a flawless 56 nonetheless. Very impressive. And Sidnev not too far behind, all things considered. Does have a little bit of an awkward formation here. Gonna execute the double tuck with the T. And SV, look at this. Really trying to take as few burns as possible. Does actually take the skim there, though. Potentially going to be scored for SV. Going to be looking for an L piece. Maybe an I piece now. While Sidnev having to do some burns. 420 for SV. 315 for Sidnev. So SV built up over 100,000 point lead. And I mean, unless you're playing near perfect, that's to be expected. But Sidnev having to navigate around the spire in the center. Nice flat eye burn. These S's just really coming at poor timing for Sidnev. Waiting on the long board. There's going to be another Tetris for SV. Good eyepiece fills in the dependency. Another Tetris for SV. 511 at 96 lines. Sidnev now with a long bar dependency, a J piece dependency, can convert this into a dirty Tetris. If that long bar does show up. And it does. Nice burn over there for Sidnev. And is going to try and go for another one. SV forced to take some burns here. Looks like that 700k transition is going to be slipping away. And Sidnev in the position. Wait, does SV go for this? SV does go for this. A long bar would be great here. Long bar is not found. Nice last second adjustment to score the Tetris on the L. A 600k transition is all but guaranteed for SV. We'll like to get the board in a better spot before in level 19. Nice adjustment. SV will have to burn into level 19. And SV transitions at 600,000. Sidnev transitions at 562. Close the gap by a significant margins right before transition. However, SV is going to open up the well, waiting on the long bar as both players now Tetris ready. And they're going to Tetris in the level 2631 for SV, 588 for Sidnev. Both players clean stacks and able to get Tetris ready too. SV hits the spin. Look at all these S's bombarding these players' stack right now. Having to manage just unfavorable pieces like that is what makes these players just so good. Tetris for SV, Sidnev not able to find it. And ironically, when SV needs a S the most, it's nowhere to be found. But look at that adjustment. Tetris is going to be scored for both. 701 to now 629. SV, oh my gosh. Beautiful burnout. IP is going to make its way over to left. SV is Tetris ready. Still a 2 Tetris lead over Sidnev. At 657, both players. Tetris ready here on level 22. There's the Tetris for Sidnev. There's the Tetris for SV. And another one for SV and another one for Sidnev. 713 and now 768. A lot of last second adjustments. Sidnev finds the Tetris and so does SV. Very impressive play here in the post transition so far. $774 for Sidnev. Trying to make a comeback here. SV looking for that eyepiece. Eyepiece is nowhere to be found. Having to manage this drought skillfully and does so. Both players knocked down a Tetris. 805 to now 832. Less than a Tetris separate them at this point. And Tetris is going to be scored. SV finds the T piece, able to execute on the tuck. ZP is going to help fill in that dependency, and SP is going to find his way over in the left. Tetris is going to be scored for SV. Sidnev having to do a little bit of burning. So SV has built up a Tetris and a half lead. Another Tetris for SV goes up to 930. Sidnev now 876. Another Tetris for SV, 963. Sidnev not in position to score at the moment. And that T piece going to provide a little bit extra complications. Does get the J piece. There's the nicely timed S-piece. Tetris for SB and a Tetris for Sidnev. 996 to now 917. Another Tetris for SB. Has maxed out. There's the million points. 830. Another Tetris for SV. Tetris going to be scored for Sidnev. And another Tetris for SV. SV in this latter part of the post-transition has been absolutely on fire. 2 Tetrises remain possible before 29. There's one. SV with the B33. And there's the other. B69 and the 29. But is not ready for a Tetris. Sidnev with an A29 is going to knock down a Tetris. Goes up to A65. There's another Tetris. B04. Sidnev starting to put the pressure on. SV now trying to get set up for the next Tetris. Left side's a bit of a concern, so he's going to have to take some burns. Able to get the 5-tap. Sidnev, dangerous situation. Easily compounding out of control. But hold on, Sidnev's finding a way to survive. Sidnev brings the stack down. SV does knock down a Tetris. Goes up to C36. Not able to score given the pieces that he received, so he's just going to have to take a triple. Sidnev knocks down Tetris. B66 now for Sidnev. Just under 100,000 point lead for SV. As both players on level 32. SV set up for the Tetris. Holding out patiently. Waiting on the long bar. Waiting on it. Forced to take a triple. Followed up by a double. And now SV is back into burning mode. Roughly timed drought. And Sidnev is in trouble. That's not going to be a Tetris. That's going to be a triple at best. The eyepiece does come, but poorly timed. What a 5-tap over there, but it's not going to matter. Sidnev tops that at C flat. SV at C91 ties up the match 1-1. Man, that drought on 33. Oh my gosh. Ah, yes. Gauntlet RNG at its finest. A 57-piece drought. Dude, there's just no bars in this match. The set is now tied 1-1. Both players are ready. Let's go ahead and get them counted down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Tetris. After a brutal fight on 29, SV comes out on top by just under 100,000 point lead. And a small misdrop over there for SV. So we're not going to be seeing a flawless 56 from either player, actually. And ooh. A Z placement, a little bit annoying to deal with. But either way, both players should be fine. SV now looking for an eyepiece. Eyepiece came a bit too late. So Sidnev should be able to utilize... Oh, I love that. Nice burn over there from SV. Sidnev is going to maintain the advantage. Nice overhang setup over there from SV as well. And interestingly, Sidnev holds out for the T-piece there. Doing everything to avoid burning. T-spin is going to be hit. Nicely done. 138 for Sidnev. 101 for SV. SV forced to take a triple. Gets back into scoring position immediately. Sidnev isn't able to. The well is open now for Sidnev. 154 to now 168. Separated by half a Tetris, so we got ourselves pretty close game for a little bit over half a Tetris. And now players just stacking up. That TP is going to fill in that chasm. Nice last second adjustment over there for SV. Ooh, the Tux. So aggressive. Has to take the burns. That left side. What the heck? OPs finds his way over to the left. Sidnev having to take the burns as well. Just goes to show how far these players are willing to go to take as few burns as possible. Just playing up so incredibly high. But a couple of Tetrises is going to bring them back down to the bottom. 275 for SV, 309 for Sidnev. Ooh, last second adjustment for the overhang for the nice little OJ. Another Tetris going to be scored for SV, 301 and 309. Another Tetris for SV. Sidnev finds one and is ready to find the other. 355 now for Sidnev. 30,000 points is what separates these two players. So a very contested 18. Sidnev, of course, with the advantage. Another Tetris is going to be scored over there from SV. Tetris for Sidnev. The amount of efficiency on display here from both of these players is kind of insane. You see down there towards the bottom of both the players' boards, they've only received 30 long bars, which is by no means a lot. But to be able to maintain this level of efficiency, oh, missed Z-spin over there from SV. That's going to cost him. Sidnev, clean board. Potentially in a position to take advantage. But no, SV is just going to go dirty and aggressive. There's a Tetris for SV. Sidnev knocks down a Tetris, and SV is going to get set up. $496 to now $465. Still, 30,000 points is what separates these two players. An opportunity that Sidnev had to expand the lead wasn't necessarily completely capitalized on. So SV is within shouting distance. We are 20 lines away from the level 19 transition. We saw what SV was capable of in the prior game. However, these pieces are proving to be a little bit problematic for SV. Oh, that's going to be a perfect burnout. Oh, you couldn't have asked for better pieces right there. SV is Tetris ready. Nice delay burn set up over there from SV as well. One more Tetris available to him before we transition. There it is. SV is going to be the first to bring us into transition. 564. Sidnev, on the other hand, is going to bring us into transition with a 596. Both players are tied 1-1. So whoever wins this is going to be one step away. Another Tetris over there for SV goes up to 614. Sidnev actually going to be prevented from scoring any Tetrises until that hole is dealt with. SV knocks down a Tetris, now L-piece dependent, or J dependent now in the center of the stack. Finds the J piece after setting up a brilliant delay burn and the overhang for the T-tuck. Truly splendid plays over here from SV. Sidnev, on the other hand, trying to find a way to navigate through this. Not really able to score. That's going to be a double at best. And is still trying to find avenues to get Tetris ready. Not going to go aggressive. Going to take the burns. SV, on the other hand, has taken the lead. 693. Scratch that. 719. And is ready for another one. Sidnev knocks down a Tetris. Dirty on row 3. And has brought the stack all the way down to the bottom. What a turn of events over there. SV displaying some phenomenal dexterity and improvisation with the way that he decided to build. And has allowed him to build up a 100,000 point lead here on level 22. However, both players are now clean. So it's up to them to maintain an equal level of efficiency with each other, especially as Sidnev doesn't want this lead to grow Two quick Tetrises is going to be scored for Sidnev. 758 to now 833. Another Tetris for SB brings him up to 862. Tetris for Sidnev and Tetris for SB. 892 to now 788. Level 24 Tetrises are worth 30,000 points apiece and beyond as we move forward from here. There's a Tetris for Sidnev, goes up to 922. Beautiful placement over there for SB. Intentionally creating the long bar dependency and filling it in with the eyepiece thereafter. SB still looking to do a couple of birds. The well is open for both players. There's the Tetris for SB and another one. Sidnev holding up for the long bar. Finds one and is ready to find the other. 914 for Sidnev. 821 for SB. There's the max. And the Vince. An adjustment Vince executed successfully over there for SB. There's another Tetris too. 854. This play from SB is absolutely insane. And Sidnev still trailing by 100,000 points. SB is Tetris ready and so is Sidnev. SB finds the Tetris. Sidnev waiting patiently. There's the max for Sidnev. 814 to B21. That is 1.1 for SB. However, he's waiting on specific pieces. Goes for the T-tuck. Finds the double burn. Unfortunately, wasn't able to utilize that long bar for a Tetris. But the well is open. There's the Tetris for Sidnev. 883. Sidnev actually closing the gap here. Hold on, SB could be in trouble. Keeps the well open. Executes the T-spin, but needs to get this board prepared for 29. There's the triple. SB goes to 29 at B76. Sidnev at B60. Only a Tetris behind. SB scored now. Sidnev trying to get this well open. The well is open for Sidnev. Needs this long bar. Needs it soon. Finds the long bar. Takes the lead at CO1. SB trying to bring the stack back into a scoring position. The Sidnev does have the lead at this point. And these pieces are not ideal for SB. Just narrowly finding pieces, but nothing's burning. SB needs the eyepiece. That's going to be a split double. Gets the piece all the way over to the left. One more eyepiece. Could be SB's saving grace. The eyepiece nowhere to be found. This drought on 21. SB tops out at CO9. Sidnev is good for game number 3. We got it ready from both players. Match point for Sidnev. One game away from handing the Grandmasters their first loss this season, putting an end to the 10-match win streak. However, SB is one game away from forcing a decider. Already. A little bit of an uncomfortable development on the left-hand side over here for SB. It's going to be looking for a J piece. Burns are going to be forced. SV opens up the well temporarily, covers it back up, looking for an L or a J. A little bit safer solve over here for SV. But the well is open. Just waiting for this long bar. There it is. SV is on the board with the Tetris. Sidnev has 2. Interestingly enough, Sidnev also had to endure some pretty tough sequences. So throughout all that burning that SV did at the beginning, Sidnev only is going to walk away with a 1 Tetris lead. Which, as we saw last game, a 1 Tetris lead can be overcome easily. And SV, once again, more conservative placements. Looks like Sidnev had a similar idea. Both players knocked down a Tetris. SV was able to keep the bulk of his stack available. Nice adjustment over there for Sidnev. It's going to be J-piece dependent. But as soon as that J-piece comes, Sidnev is going to be Tetris ready. Nice spin hit over there for SV. Tetris is going to be scored for SV. Sidnev. Oh, great O-piece. Tetris for Sidnev. 155 to now 157. You can see there has been a change in the way that SV has decided to play this game. Unfortunately, these pieces are proving to be challenging. But somehow SV is able to burn out of that just so quickly, so efficiently. Both players knocked down a Tetris, 205 to now 191. Sidnev does find the second. So a Tetris and a half separating them both here. And SV continuing to put on some pressure on Sidnev. As a matter of fact, this Tetris is going to give SV the real-time lead. Not the pace lead, though. As SV does get, or Sidnev does get Tetris ready. And SV follows it up with a Tetris. 283 to now 273. The way that both of these players have been playing today has been nothing short of phenomenal. Especially getting to see how SV played in that previous post-transition. We walk our way into level 18 and we see a definite shift in the way that SV has decided to approach this. One game is what you need to bring it to a decider if you're SV. One game is what you need to hand the Grandmasters the first loss this season if you're the Wavey ones. The pressure has never been higher. Grandmasters already have their spot in the playoffs. But now it's just a matter of seeing how far they can push the record. 411 for Sidnev, 399 for SV. Both players going to add a Tetris, so 422 to now 435. And the play, or at least the way that both of these players have at least been playing this match, you can see it's a lot more milder. We're not seeing too many high boards or boards where they're defying your typical expectations of what you would think that someone would be willing to risk. And SV running into a situation, having to take a lot of burns. The well is now open. SV does find a Tetris. A 500k transition is on the table. What a delayed bit setup. And that gets rewarded for it immediately. But is going to be looking for a T-piece. Intentionally creates a long bar dependency. And unfortunately, not able to find too many pieces to kind of deal with that in an efficient manner. Looks like SV going to be able to get away with just over a 500k transition. Pieces won't let him get too much higher than that, though. SV is going to transition with the next line clear. And transitions at 527. Sidnev will transition with a 620. Almost a 100,000 point lead at transition. It's up to SV to make a stand here. Tetris for Sidnev goes up to 649. Another Tetris for SV. Has transferred the wheel over to the left-hand side. Takes one skim. Takes another. Looking for the eyepiece. This would be a perfect wheel transfer. The eyepiece comes. Eyepiece nowhere to be found. Nice little drought there. And I like the way that SV decided to handle that. Quick couple of burns. SV is back into scoring from the right-hand side. Sidnev managing the drought and managing it well. Tetris for Sidnev, 733. 100,000 point lead. Nice burnout over there for SV. It's going to convert a Tetris out of that too. There's the Tetris for SV. Goes up to 689. However, that formation is going to be a little tedious to deal with. But SV finds a way. Tetris for Sidnev. Back up to 200,000 point lead and knocks down another one. SV fires back. 725. SV now in a little bit of trouble here. $803 now for SV, $920 for Sidnev. Sidnev playing high, but is able to find Tetrises. Over 120,000 point lead so far. SV in a little bit of danger here. Finds two long bars, knocks down two quick Tetrises. Sidnev has already maxed. This is where things get serious. Such a massive lead for Sidnev. We're heading into level 29. Following the next line burn for SV. Next Tetris and line burn for Sidnev. 987 is what SV transitions to 29 with. Down by almost 200,000 points. Sidnev goes into 29 with CO1 automatically knocks down a Tetris. SV has maxed. Following that Tetris, that left side, huge concern, has to go for the split triple. SV set up for the Tetris, knocks it down. A88, Sidnev at D14. 1.3 to a 1.0. SV sets up a delayed burn. Didn't quite resolve the way that he was looking for it to. The disadvantage continues to grow. SV, the stack is getting high. Nothing's finding burns. Needs an eyepiece. Can't get it over to the right. SV tops out at BO3. Sidnev at D65 takes game 4, winning match number 3 and handing the Grandmasters their first loss of the season. The Grandmasters are now 10-1. And the Wavey ones go up to a 7-6 record. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for tonight's match. Although the win streak for the Grandmasters might be over, the Grandmasters still have a couple more matches left to go in the season. And of course, their rivals, the Millionaires, are looking to be one of those teams to be the second ones to take them down. That being said, we'll give a raid to Mari. I think they're gonna still keep streaming. What a match that was. Fantastic games as well. Anyways, I'm your favorite underwater host, Sharky, and I'll see you in the next match of Gauntlet Ascension.